We are in Bristol, England. Today we are in Avery's wine cellar, and very fitting for today's filming. Because today we're filming a music video. The song is I Emperor, and this is a song about Napoleon. And we have decided to film here for one of the shoots, which is taking place in what we call the war room, where the band is actually gonna fight a battle for history, a reenactment of the Battle of Waterloo with a twist. Because in this one, there ain't gonna be the turnout that historically was correct. Because in this one, it's actually our singer Joakim who has challenged the rest of us to this reenactment battle of the Battle of Waterloo. He, of course, has studied history, so he ain't gonna lose. He's gonna win. And this will change the course of history. Behind me, guys are getting ready for makeup for some shoots, and we're gonna take you with us to see how it's done when we are behind the scenes of I Emperor.
Is it something on the lens?
No.
No.
Lens is clean.
Okay, and
It's just my emotions.
action.
Once again, we are working with Video Ink that we did 1916 with. A lot of you guys maybe remember that one as being quite epic music video. And here we are again to redo something epic. This time we are not doing with real soldiers. This time we are doing it with miniatures, but a lot of them. So we have some really enthusiastic people on the set who really knew and have beautifully recreated the diorama of the Battle of Waterloo.
So today's the day with the figurines. I got chatting to Nige, who was painting them. We're both doing makeup touch-ups at the same time. He was painting one of the Napoleon figurines, which is what Joakim was doing before. And he was painting on all of the gold detailed buttons on like the sword and on his suit. And I just thought it was really fascinating that I got to see that in life and then see it on camera. It looks really cool. Yeah, so this morning I did Pa's makeup. Skin still looking fresh 2 years on. He definitely has a little skin routine that he's not telling us. The boys are so easy to titivate and make camera ready, it's not too difficult. Yeah, and a lovely little chat as well this morning with Hannah's. We've both had babies since being on the last shoot, and I was saying that I was finding it quite difficult being away from her, but it was quite wholesome getting a bit of advice from a band that go on tour quite a lot.
A long time ago, when I was quite younger than I am today, I was totally into wargamings and board games, and it was a big part of me when I was growing up. And lately I have rediscovered this hobby, and I built my own little war room at home, and loving the rediscovery of my old habits. And I think that was one of the inspirations for creating this music video. However, we are not using one of those games that I am playing or I used to play. We are using a more historically accurate one. On site, we have Nigel, an expert specialist in historical reenactment of board games and a specialty in Napoleonic Wars. So he has brought an entire army, not just one, but actually two entire armies and a beautiful diorama that is the centerpiece of this music video. We are playing this game of Battle of Waterloo, but we are changing it, and obviously our singer's gonna win and change the course of history by doing so, which much to the rest of us, anger, because we expected to come here with a clean win, and we even have to use cheat, which he calls us out, and no matter how we do, he outsmarts us. Why? Because he's good at history and he studied the mistakes that Napoleon did and he won't repeat them.
What I particularly liked about yesterday's set is like the attention to detail everybody involved spent on it. I mean, we chose the books and the board games. Board games were brought mostly by Per, I brought a lot of books. Some of them were actually gifts from fans and friends that are going to be in the video. I hope it makes it to the final cut because there's quite a few Easter eggs there because it's like almost all of the books that I brought to the set has a connection to a Sabaton song, which might be, some of them will be obvious to Sabaton fans, some of them will take a little bit more of a think. So we'll see how many. I'm looking forward to seeing the comments of the video, how many people can figure out, which song the books are connected to.
Let's take a look a little bit on the set here. The first day in the cellar of Avery's. And here we brought some stuff from home to fill up here a little bit. Some fans of Sabaton might recognize some little details here. I recall somebody maybe know which song that comes from. This was probably my favorite game when I was a kid, so I brought this from home. There's a new edition of it though. It's a Swedish version of Dungeons and Dragons. The whole idea was here to pay a little respect to like culture. This was one of my favorite games when I was a kid. Of course, Warhammer 40k as well. And here are actually some small guys of my army from home that I painted myself. It's my warlord. So, and these are some of the guys. I have a pretty big army, but I brought a few small guys, nothing big, because they wouldn't fit. 100 best true stories of World War II. One of my all-time favorite games, Talisman. I don't know how much I played this. It's the 4th edition right now. I have the 5th at home as well. I had an idea to create a card game, and I made the first version of it just before we went to the US last year for a tour. Me and Joakim was playing it a lot during the tour and continuously developing and making new editions and variations of it. And now we don't know what's going to happen with it at the moment, but we also let some other people who had knowledge about playing these deck building games, and they were really impressed that it was a really fun game. So it's a complete game based on lore. There's me, for example, with my special abilities, but it's a complete lore about the Sabaton Endgame 1945. I think that this is the book that Joakim used for research for Battle of Berlin, and that will be, for anybody who know, it's the Aether Dominatus. So this is from Joakim's personal book. He brought it here to England for this, to put up some stuff here. This is also one of Joakim's book, The Assassination of Archduke. This is obviously the outbreak of the First World War. So one of the books that Joakim had for the research. So here's one of my favorite games that I used to love a lot when I was a kid. I still think that it's really fun. And now I have a lot of expansions for it, so Hero Quests. Some fans of us might recognize this one, where it comes from. It's from the Carolus Rex album. And on English, this one is called Killing Ground. This one, a little bit heavy metal. So it's from like my neighbor who helped me to become a heavy metal fan. And this is his book. And there's a little short note about Sabaton in there. Here's obviously our Sabaton game, Battle Through History. Another book from Joakim's personal, which is Larry Thorne. A lot of people would know that as a soldier of 3 armies. We couldn't put up everything as well, and we couldn't bring it so much. I mean, we packed some suitcases with stuff and flew over here, but obviously the main thing about the music videos are history-changing game table where we play out the historical battle with a different outcome, making that Napoleon wins, and then at the end game of the music video, we're making a fictional idea that what would have happened if Napoleon won the Battle of Waterloo. Obviously, the world could look a little bit different for Great Britain, for example. Then this book would be a bestseller. Today, it doesn't exist except for in here.
You want the armies on the diorama to be at the right place for the Battle of Waterloo that's being reenacted here. But also, you don't want to reset the lights all the time because that takes even longer. So the poor blokes who were taking care of those, they had to like have 8 or 10 different settings. Okay, now because of this, we're gonna shoot this person in this light because that's the one thing that might take the longest to reset. So I don't know how many times those poor soldiers were relocated, and how many times we saw the Battle of Waterloo go back and forth with all of that, waiting for the smoke, waiting for everything to be right, and yeah, while trying to sing. One thing that was fun about yesterday, though, even though I was singing a lot, was the fact that we were underground in a basement, in a cellar. And that cellar actually did exist during Napoleonic times, but that's not the best thing about it. It was magic because there was no cell signal whatsoever. So nobody could be on their phones. People had to hang out with each other and talk. And yeah, I love that. So yeah, if I'm doing more music videos, cancel the fucking cell signal, I'm good.
With it being the first day is always a little bit more difficult because everybody's sort of getting into the swing of things and making sure that everyone's comfortable. We've got a few days filming together, so everything's got to run smoothly. But making sure that attention to detail is always perfectly kept is a really important thing to us in the makeup department, as it is with the rest of the crew. But our particular job in the makeup department is to ensure that continuity is followed, the character is played out and looks the part, and also that the band and the cast are also feeling comfortable within their character and what they're wearing and how their makeup is. It's been really lovely working with the band again. It's as though we've just picked up from 2 years ago. We're just filming again, the sort of a follow-on from 1916. When we work together, it's like we make some sort of magic. It's not just about the final product as well, it's the whole process.
Basically, my wargaming experience started when I was probably 12 years old, when I had a very big interest in the Battle of Waterloo and started collecting the figures and built up quite a collection. But then obviously when you get to 20 years old and stuff, it all gets packed away and you discover girls and beer and it stops. But I've always had this collection there. We present it in an authentic way by actually showing that the troops are moved to certain measurements and that troops can be destroyed and fired upon. And certain troops advance or have to retreat in a certain way. Adam didn't have any experience of actual wargaming. He had an idea of what he wanted it to be. So we had to give him a little advice on how it worked. So there's about 2,000 figures on the wargaming table. These all come as a bare casting, and you have to paint them, mount them on a base. And they all have to be painted in the correct uniforms and arranged in the correct manner, the correct troop types, and then organised into battalions that were the correct size for those troops. We did have some, in particular, a Napoleon and a Wellington on foot, which we didn't have, which we've had to do at the last minute. We actually had to have them 3D printed because we couldn't get them ordered in time. So we 3D printed them, and we actually only painted them yesterday and then dried them with a hairdryer, so we could have them on set more or less straight away. So yeah, it's a painstaking job painting them. When they rang up for the job, I asked my sidekick Richard if he would come and help in this project because he's got very good historical knowledge. And he'd actually already bought tickets to see them later this year. So he was very excited about doing the job, and I almost didn't have to pay him. And he's actually provided some of the items such as the sabre, which you see in the video, and the cavalry uniforms you see in the background. So most of the figures are 28mm metal figures, and these come as a metal bare casting which need cleaning up. Then you've got to undercoat them and paint them, which is probably 2 to 3 hours per figure. So there's a lot of work gone in there, and these have to be painted in the correct uniforms, the correct colours, and organised into the correct battalions, so they are all historically correct. It's been difficult today because we've been working at such speed, moving them around backwards and forwards for different shots, and all the shots aren't in order. So we've tried to keep them in the right places, move them correctly. But in some of the shots, we've been 5 minutes per shot, so it's been pretty quick to go from one to the other. We haven't had much time. And also we wanted to alter some of the buildings to be better on camera, so we had to improve a lot of those. We stuck a lot of individual roofing slates on these little buildings, which took hours and hours and hours. It's been a great experience, it's been a great team today, and there isn't a certain amount of pride there for everybody, even though they're not in it, that they have contributed to that finished product, and when it comes out and you go, yeah, that's fabulous, I was part of that.
Hear me now, soldiers of my old God, I have come to bid you all farewell for 20.
Hello. Oh, I'm falling asleep. So early in the morning, it's like 4:30 in the morning right now. That was nice.
Today we are setting up in the pub for the pub scene, which the French wine bar scene as well. So it acts as the intro and the outro of the music video. The music video itself is all about a group of friends, Sabaton, who meet up at a British pub, are greeted by one of their friends, Joakim, and invited to reenact a tabletop war game, the Battle of Waterloo. Joakim has done his research and he's looked at what Napoleon did wrong and why Napoleon lost. He's planned accordingly, and in the end, he ends up rewriting history. Any problems that we had with him? The only problem I've ever had with Sabaton is Hannes. He's too sexy for his own good.
Now we're talking.
I mean, one of the most coolest things and the most joyous things about working with Sabaton is the collaboration. So most of the time, Pa has an idea which we use as a foundation on which to build. And I'll be like, well, you know, that's cool. How about if we kind of tried it this way? And he's like, oh yeah, that's cool. How about if we do that, we could then do this with it, and it kind of like builds from there. And it's like a really cool relationship where we both kind of, you know, respect what both of us bring to the table, and together we create something really epic. So I did a hell of a lot of research into Waterloo, find out what Napoleon did wrong, and tried to kind of base Joakim's key movements, especially towards the end of the battle. You know, how could he have won? And it's still kind of a contentious thing. You know, some historians still say there's no way that he could have won.
You got a muffin?
Yeah.
We're live. Okay. It's the second day of shooting for the Emperor's Song. And it's morning and we're getting ready for shooting. To be honest, I'm not. I have some difficulties with the makeup, but it's done very well here. Even though I like eyes, I think that eyes are very beautiful from a little bit of a distance, and I have a phobia of them if something comes too close to them.
I've heard you've got a very nice skincare routine.
Here we go. As we can see, I have
It's
a
definitely an
good
8-step
routine.
skincare routine that not sharing.
Just found out that I apparently have very good skin. Maybe coming from Scandinavia or Sweden gives that. Growing up, loving the winter, being out all the time. These days I don't like the cold so much, prefer the heat. So today, after we're finished with the makeup, we're gonna start shooting the scenes in this pub, which is starting out the morning as a British pub, and in the afternoon it's gonna be a French wine bar. And this is to demonstrate the change of history as our singer actually beat us in the game. How to transform in a couple of hours a place from being traditional British to traditional French. Today is our easiest day, I think, of the shooting. We are pretty much just sitting and having a beer. We're kind of good at that. After 25 years on the road, we got used to being in a bar and drinking beer. So it's something we do very natural, and hopefully they don't need a lot of retakes of us drinking beer.
Hello, boys! Ready to get your asses kicked?
Well, today is obviously an easier day for me. No singing. It's mostly waiting for lights and smoke and setup and watching the other guys. I'm impressed. They've been sitting with beers in front of them without getting drunk all day, which is great. Back in the day when we started doing music videos, that you'd only pretend to sing. But no, you can instantly see it on video if somebody's pretending to sing instead of singing for real.
I will conquer all, I will rule you, I'll bring triumph all, I will defend you, I'll make cannons roar, I'll defeat you, I'll win the war, I will destroy you.
In this case, it was kind of tough because it's a quite high song to sing. In tonality and pretty rough. And then also, of course, the director wants another take. So you're singing the same thing over and over. And usually, obviously, the high parts or the tricky parts. So usually when doing a rehearsal or a set, you'll have songs that are easier, breaks in between, but no. In this case, you really have to go for it because it's instantly recognizable on video. I think anyone watching this, all of you guys, would see if I faked it. So I tried even, pretending. I can see it on video directly, most people can. Sometimes you can get away with trying to sing like an octave below. And if it's not a really powerful part, then you can probably get away with it for a slow verse or something. But if it's the high parts of a chorus or a pre-chorus or something, there's so much happening when you're singing. You're activating so many muscles in your body, everything from stomach, even to your ass.
I'll be the fox, I'll be the lion, I'll do what it takes to stay on the throne.
For me, it's been the easiest day, I think, in a long, long time. Many years of shooting a music video. I've been walking around with like a funny hat and a funny coat on, and I've been messing about with the boys. I'm not sure it will make it to the video, but on the first take, I pretty much went, hello, and girls, to the boys. Not sure that'll be allowed. Maybe they'll cut it out of this behind the scenes as well. We'll see. I'm actually enjoying it. I can watch so many professionals work as well. I don't really care what it is, if it's lights or cameras or whatever, but to see how it's done for real. Obviously we've done music videos before. Everybody does it differently. I always learn something, which is amazing. Yeah, the rest of the day, I can sit like this. And if I want to have a beer, I'll have a beer. And no costume changes, no fucking uniforms, no plate armor, no nothing. It's awesome. We worked with these people before. 1916, for those of you who are wondering, check that out. Good group of people. Good atmosphere. And most importantly, there is space for a joke or two, Sure, you can't mess up the schedule by wasting everybody's time. But yeah, the sense of camaraderie, having fun together. And everybody's here to do a job and is truly professional. But the magic lies within not making it feel like that. And that's something I think these guys have perfected. Even though sometimes you're running so short on time because something happened and somebody's got to take care of the time and call out, guys, you have 30 seconds left to get this shot. Everybody knows there's no way, but still everybody's taking it, trying their best. Being a pretty damn shitty actor, I'm looking forward to at least a second and a half when I'm not ashamed of my performance.
I guess they were looking for a French character, so as someone who could play a French barmaid, and being bilingual, I was able to do that. So yeah, it's been nice getting involved. They gave me the note of Amélie, that they wanted like a very friendly, sweet barmaid. Yeah, acting opposite Sabaton was really lovely. They were very supportive, very sweet. When he asked me to say a few lines in French, interrupting Sabaton when they were having their argument, asking them what they want in French, qu'est-ce que vous désirez? I like that he had a very specific way that he wanted it. At first, I was very much kind of like, what are you guys doing here, with that kind of energy? And he was like, no, we want more kind of like Amélie, sweet. So it was nice to be, he directed it in a very clear way that I was able to do.
As you can see, I'm playing the role of a typical English pub grower. You can see that I go to the pub regularly. How did I get to be part of this? Well, I'd like to say that I was sitting in the pub having a beer when all these guys walked in with cameras and said, hey, you stay there, we're doing a music video. But I'm a professional actor, and I've never done a music video before. You can imagine, like, here I am in my local having a pint when a guy dressed as Napoleon walks in. Well, how do you react to that? As soon as I heard that Sabaton were the group, because I knew it was a music video, but it was very late on that I was told that it was Sabaton. So as soon as I saw that, I shouted, Alexa, play some Sabaton. And I was really impressed by it. I like heavy metal music anyway. And I thought, oh, how great to be doing it with this band. And, when we were in there, it was great seeing Joakim dressed as Napoleon. He really occupies the space. So reacting to this character in sunglasses going past was just fantastic. This sort of thing is made 3 times, really. Once when you set it out, once when you film it, and once when you edit it. So I'm really looking forward to but I'm having a ball. To be paid for doing this is just fantastic. They're performing here in December, and I'm going to go and see them. So not only have they've come from nowhere in my life to a band that I've worked with performing, and a band that I'm going to see live, and I'm really looking forward to it.
If you wouldn't have brought this guy along, then we would have won. Yeah.
If you would have moved from the first position.
Okay, guys, let's do that again. Okay, be back in a
I thought that he's gonna get real smell for this.